Hey guys, Marissa at KitchenTableStamper.com. Tonight I'm getting ready for a paper and ink card class in my Rolling Meadows home studio, and this is one of the cards that we're going to make. As of today, there are only, 9 days left in Sale-a-bration, and we're featuring some great Sale-a-bration freebies in paper and ink cards this month. So this is the card that we're going to make. And the Stampin' Up! Supplies that we need for this include some fantastic Sale-a-bration items. The first thing I wanted to draw your attention to is the Blue Moon basket. This is an exclusive Sale-a-bration. It's bundled with this basket weave 3D dynamic textured embossing folder, and we're going to use the You Are Loved greeting from this Blue Moon basket, and this bundle can be yours free with a $100 purchase during Sale-a-bration. We're also going to use timeless textures. I love this little vine image here for the background. We're going to add a little bit more texture with the burlap background here, and those are our stamps. Let's see, embellishments. I've got a little bit of linen thread and a half of a Whisper White Delicate Doily. So those are our embellishments. The Stampin' Pads for this project are Pear Pizzazz, Old Olive, and Powder Pink. And the consumables for this project include this gorgeous foil, Springtime Foil Specialty Designer Series paper. This is also a Sale-a-bration item. You can earn this foil paper pack with your $50 purchase in the month of March 2018. And this is the Springtime Foils papers. You get this entire package for free with your $50 purchase. It includes this rose gold foil dot pattern, this silver and gold foil leaf pattern. See it catch the light there? Isn't that gorgeous? The silver stripe pattern, and then this beautiful rose gold and gold floral pattern. And you get 3 sheets each of 4 patterns for a total of 12 pieces. It's a really great pack of designer series paper. It's one I'll be stocking up on for sure. Alright, so let me show you the rest of the consumables here. I have a label cut from the foil paper. That's the 2.5 by 4 1/8 label from Lots of Labels Framelits Dies. All the measurements will be on the project sheet that you can find on the blog, KitchenTableStamper.com. Powder pink card base is 5.5 by 8.5 and scored at 4 1/4. I've got a piece of Pear Pizzazz that's 1 by 4, a piece of Whisper White that's 3 1/4 by 1/2, and then I cut some flowers and leaves from that foil, rose gold foil floral pattern. Say that 10 times fast. The other thing that we'll need is some Stampin' Blends markers. I've got Pink Pirouette and Old Olive, both the light and the dark shade, and we're going to use that to add even more gorgeous color and dimension to this foil paper. Alright, let me get the ink pads and we'll get stamping. Okay, so I've got my burlap background here and my Pear Pizzazz ink. I'm going to ink up the burlap stamp and then take my 1 by 4 Pear Pizzazz cardstock, lay that on the burlap stamp, and then just apply some pressure to it. I'm going to use the block that my texture stamp is on, and then lift that up. Now we've got some great texture on that Pear Pizzazz piece. We'll put this aside. I keep that scratch paper because we're going to stamp off the edge of the card here. So I'm going to get my powder pink card base and my little vine design here. And we're going to stamp that off the edge of the card and then kind of across the card front here. And I just rotate it like 180 degrees as I stamp. Alright, so there's our background, a little more detail. Another little stamped image here. I've got "You Are Loved," and we're going to stamp that to the almost center here of this Whisper White banner. Now we're going to angle cut one end and tie some twine on the other, so we need a little room on both sides. There's "You Are Loved," stamped with Old Olive. Then I think our stamping's done, so let's get this out of the way. Don't want to stick my card in the ink pads. All right, now I've got some snail here. I'm going to add some to the back of this Pear Pizzazz, and we're going to add some to the back of our label. Now the label is just very slightly to the right of center and a little bit high of center, but not much. We'll adhere that and then adhere our Pear Pizzazz burlap piece. Then with paper snips, we're going to make an angle cut on our sentiment banner and embellish it with a little bit of linen twine or linen thread. I'm going to wrap this a couple times and then tie a pretty bow. It's kind of a big bow there. Oh well. All right, trim it from the card, and let's get some tear-in tape here, and I'm going to put a piece of tear-in tape across the back of our sentiment. Now, expose the adhesive, and then I've taken and cut a Whisper White delicate doily in half and then cut out the center, so we've got just a little lacy edge there. And we're going to fold the rough edge under so we get a clean finished edge there. We're going to tack the doily to that tear-in tape on the back, and then we'll just pleat the doily as we go along underneath the sentiment panel to embellish. And you're going to go up to the twine so it doesn't go entirely across. See? Starts just under you and ends where you hit the twine. You can go ahead and adhere that to the card. That tear-in tape should be enough adhesive. You can add a little bit more if you find it's not sticking. Now, last step, I've just kind of roughly bubble cut my flowers from the foil paper, and I'm going to go ahead with the lightest Pirouette Pink, and I'm going to just fill in the entire flower here. It's going to be really subtle. It's a very slight difference. Okay, now that I've got that colored in, I'm going to come in with the darker Pirouette Pink and add a shadow. Come in kind of from the center here, where it would be dark, up the back where these petals would create a shadow on those back petals, and then where they're turned up, where the petals are turned up, I'll put a shadow across the bottom of those. And when I'm satisfied with the shadows, I'll just blend it together with the lighter Pirouette Pink and just soften the edges there between the light and the dark shade. It's squeaky on this kind of glossy paper. There we go. Looks good. And then we'll do the same thing with this little bloom here. Fill in with the lighter Pirouette Pink and then shadow with the darker. And then you want to quickly, because it's going to absorb it's going to evaporate real fast off this glossy paper. Go back with the lighter one and blend in. Now along the stem of this flower, I'm going to use the dark Old Olive. Then I'll fill in the leaf with the light Old Olive. And you want to have a light and quick hand because we are coloring on a glossy cardstock. And then I'm going to go in along the veins of the leaf and at the base of the leaf with the darker one. And then blend it out softly. Okay, right along the bloom of the flower, touched with the lighter one, shadow with the darker one right under the bloom, and blend the two together. All right, same thing with this leaf. I'll do this one and then cut back in. Okay, so now both of my flowers are colored in, all the leaves, and I'm just gonna fussy cut these flowers. I've already done the bloom, and I'm gonna do the flower here. They're gonna be slightly different because the pattern is kind of random on this designer series paper, but you can definitely mix and match the different leaf and flower pieces and make a unique, each card its own unique arrangement of flowers and leaves. Okay, fussy cut complete. Let's get some dimensional adhesive, and we're going to add our flowers on with Stampin' Dimensionals. I'm going to use a mix of small and regular ones. Okay, flowers are all sticky. Let's get our card back in here and arrange our flowers. Like I said, each one's going to be kind of its own unique arrangement. So we're going to do this one kind of mirror image from the other one, I think. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, not bad at all. There it is. You are loved. All right, if you've got any questions about Sale-a-bration, about the project, email me, Marisa at kitchentablestamper.com. Thanks for watching. All right, so those are our consumable supplies. And let me get this ink pads open, and we're gonna start with some Stampin'. Oh, you know what? Violet, cut that out. No more sneezing for me. Okay. We're going to add a little more texture with the burlap background. Edit that out, Violet.